I didn't want to presume that you would want to stay, so I'm asking you if you'd like to continue. Would you like to? You have options. Welcome to Couch Surfing, the show where resting guests look back at their big roles, their little roles, and everything in between. I'm here with David Cross. David, let's see what's on.
I really think the cat is more the problem. I mean, the cat's rambunctious or dirty.
No, sir.
You can do it to me. I'm going to do it to you.
All right.
All right.
This kind of is appropriate for this sketch. Yeah, this is Mr. Show, the pre-taped call-in, crazy. Meta isn't the right word.
It is meta.
Is it meta?
This is a comedy Russian doll, if you will.
It is, yes, I'll give you that.
And it's widely considered a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah, when did you know that it was a classic?
We had to wait till the results came in because we sent it off to the Institute in Helsinki, and so they do a bunch of tests and all kinds of stuff to determine it. It takes a while, but you get a certificate. The certificate is edible. It's printed on edible paper.
It's edible?
Yeah. Not that you should eat it.
Gummy flavor?
That's not really a flavor. The flavor is more like Tangelo, you know?
Tangelo.
Yeah.
Tangelo.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that flavor.
It's like tangerine mixed with D'Angelo, and so it's if you've ever had that.
First of all, you know what D'Angelo tastes like? Tell me more.
Yeah.
You and Bob possibly reuniting. Is it going to happen again?
We'd like to.
Okay.
We would love to do that. You know, it's.
Is D'Angelo okay with it?
I will check.
Okay.
I've got him on speed dial.
I'm sure you do. All right. Up next.
I've been coming out to this landing site
sure.
every
Yes,
day.
waiting for GUFFMAN.
Yep. That overhead shot is from a cherry picker, and they put the camera up, and he went up there, and I have no idea what's going on, and then I wait, you know, like he gets out of the cherry picker, and you know, it's like 30 seconds, and then he's standing there, and he comes over, he's like, I liked when you said this, don't say this, do that, say more of that, do less of that. Walk back. All right.
They say you should never meet your heroes, but you got to work with one of yours, Christopher Guest, obviously.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you, and did you feel like you have arrived?
He only knew about me because of this thing I'd done, this a radio show, audio thing that I'd done for on the Joe Frank show, where I played O.J. Simpson's manservant.
It's basically this kind of gentleman who pontificates and equivocational,
you know, and he makes up stuff. And so it was this character. And then I think it was just like, I want to meet whoever did that. And then it's always disappointing for people when they're like, what? Because it doesn't jibe.
Up next.
Look, man, seriously,
Rob,
here's the deal.
don't do that.
Oh, Eternal Sunshine.
Yes.
Spotless Mind, yes. Well, that was another opportunity to work with an amazing director, Michelle Gondry, and you know, on a Charlie Kaufman script, and
Right.
I mean, that's a dream. That's a dream. It was great, and Michelle was a huge Mr. Show fan, as was his son.
And Jim Carrey.
He was great. I mean, he was super focused. He was
Really?
very, very, very focused, very intense, and got I think had a clam chowder truck brought in for everybody. It was super cold when we were shooting there. Very, 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 very cold.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, he managed to get because that place is dead in the winter. Montauk, it's dead.
Yeah.
And he managed to get a
Clam chowder for
clam
everybody.
chowder food truck.
Okay, up next.
I can also sing a song or two.
Uh-huh.
If it comes to me.
Okay, take me back to the moment when you first read this script. Did it feel groundbreaking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They wanted me to read for Job, and I did not have a handle on Job at all. I had no idea how to play that.
But you knew how to play Tobias.
Tobias, immediately I knew who the guy was.
The show is beloved, and it goes away, and then it comes back, and then it goes away, and then it comes back. Will it come back again?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it should?
Things would have to be different. There are some things that would have to be different, I think, for it to be warranted to come back, I would say.
What would have to change?
All right, you know, Your Honor, Some things would have to change. Let's just meet judges' chambers. And we'll discuss this
all
further.
right, all right, that's fair. Judge Wapner? No. Judge Judy?
Judy is, at least she's still alive, so her chambers might be a little more floral. Welcome back to Couch Surfing. I'm still here with David Cross. David, shall we continue?
We shall. We shall.
I'll teach you how to do it.
You know the boom bada boom bada boom Panama.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. This is another great experience where, again, you get a call from Adam Yauch and, you know, says, will you do this stuff? And you're like, yeah, whatever you want.
Is that how you came to be a part of the Beastie Boys family? You just got a call?
We have a lot of mutual friends.
Okay.
This guy.
This guy,
You know,
Yes.
the Joe Frank thing, that was something that Mike D was a fan of. They actually used some of it on To the Five Boroughs. There's a sample of it used in one of their songs. I met Mike D, and he wanted, it was another thing, like, I want to meet the guy who did that voice or whatever. And I remember it was at the Chateau Marmont. He didn't believe it was me. It took like 5 minutes to convince him that that was actually me.
Really?
And
I love that you just dropped the chateau in there, too. Very LA of you.
Well, that's where it was. You're right. It's extraneous. It's not germane to the story. Nobody cares where it was, but it was.
Right, up next.
I am filled with energy. That's the great thing about Thunder
Right. This is
Muscle.
the increasingly poor decisions of Todd, Margaret, which.
I mean, how physically demanding was this scene? I mean,
This was crazy. This hurt.
I mean,
And
how,
I'm old now, but I was also old back then.
how did you do this?
When we were shooting, the art department, we had our Thunder Muscle, which was a specific kind of energy drink.
Right. In the
That
Red
thing.
Bull
So
vein.
they literally went down the street to, you know, an off license and grabbed some real energy drink stuff. That's garbage. That stuff is terrible for you.
Oh, God.
And they just wrapped the Thunder Muscle thing on it. So when I'm drinking it, we're doing take after take, and I got it's one of the worst headaches I've ever had in my
gosh,
life.
I
And I don't
can't
get headaches. I rarely get them, and I was flying around, but I'm on 9 of those things with the taurine and all that stuff, and that hurt. That day of shooting hurt. That was a tough one.
Next.
All right, look.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you feel that way, maybe we
So
should
this is
just...
huge in our house. I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
4-year-old. This is big.
I have a 2-year-old.
Yes.
And,
Is she allowed to watch these films or no?
Well, she doesn't have any appreciation for him. I was flipping around. This thing is constantly on. It's like always
constantly on.
And I'm like, oh, and I, you know, see it's on the guide, and I'm like, you know, put it on. Marlo, you want to watch some cartoons or something? And not even like, Daddy, just nothing.
No,
you know.
no response.
She pointed to it and said, "Sell out."
So it's safe to say that you have conflicting emotions about this film.
I don't. I honestly don't regret it. There's no shame in it. I did it because I hadn't worked for 6 months at that point when I was offered it. It was really like, I want to work.
Yeah,
And then
I understand
that coupled with it's a f***ing kids movie, and kids love it. And I can't tell you how many adults have said, thank God for what you did, because I have to sit through that thing dozens of times, and at least you made it entertaining for me.
All right.
I truly think that having a kid
I love this special.
is one of the most
thank
narcissistic
I love it. And you
things
joke about
a person
everything.
can do.
Fatherhood, abortion, Nazis, colonics, defecating on Trump and urinating on him, golden showers. I mean,
Right.
but I heard some of this material may have landed you in hot water with the Secret Service.
I had some shows coming up in Salt Lake City. I tweeted this thing, and it was there's a meme of Tobias from Arrested Development coming out, and he's wearing a swimsuit over his shorts, and it says, do these effectively hide my thunder? So we just photoshopped the sacred undergarments. So I put that up there, and people were outraged, and then I just doubled down because I don't give a shit. And then, so after the show, people who were there, you know, for a specific intent, which was to denigrate the show, put this thing out there like, you know, he did this and he did that and it was terrible, and they printed this stuff up. Then it got, you know, it was on Breitbart and Daily Caller, and all these people are like, he's threatening the president, Secret Service, you want, and if enough people say, you know, this person's making direct threats to the president of the United States, they have to check on it.
What did your wife, Amber Tamblyn, make of all this? Because she's obviously outspoken. She's an activist. She's woke.
Yeah, well, what's she gonna do? You know, come in there guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
That's my husband, you know.
David, thank you so much for surfing
Thank
by.
you, Lola.
Oh, Come On is available on major platforms via the Comedy Dynamics Network and in select theaters now. See you next week on Couch Surfing. Bye.
Oh, am I can't come back here next week.
No.